Rachel McAdams has never looked this unglamorous, and that is precisely the point. In Sam Raimi's latest genre exercise, the actress best known for her radiant screen presence shows up to work in shapeless grey clothes, tangled hair, and clunky shoes, disappearing so completely into the character of Linda Little that audiences may briefly forget who they are watching. What follows is one of the more entertainingly unhinged survival thrillers in recent memory, a film that wears its B-movie ambitions as proudly as a badge of honor and delivers on nearly every twisted promise it makes. Send Help, produced by 20th Century Studios and directed by the man who gave the world Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell, centers on Linda, a corporate number cruncher at a consulting firm whose intelligence and dedication have been systematically overlooked by everyone around her. Her work is routinely stolen by a slippery colleague named Donovan, played with oily precision by Xavier Samuel, while her new boss, Bradley Preston, treats her with open contempt. Bradley is played by Dylan O'Brien, who channels a particular brand of fraternity-bred entitlement that makes the audience's skin crawl on cue. He tells Linda to her face that he sees no value in her. He gives the promotion she has long earned to Donovan. As a hollow gesture, he invites her to join a group of executives on a business trip to Thailand, aboard a private jet. The humiliations do not stop at the office door. During the flight, someone discovers Linda's audition tape for the reality competition series Survivor and plays it on a laptop for the entire cabin to enjoy. The scene lands as both comedy and cruelty, a moment that crystallizes just how thoroughly Linda has been diminished by the people around her. Then, the plane goes down. In a sequence Raimi shoots with genuinely gleeful excess, passengers are sucked out of the fuselage and strangled by their own neckties before the aircraft tears itself apart. Only 2 people survive, Linda and a badly wounded Bradley, who washes up on an uninhabited island with a festering leg wound and absolutely no practical skills to speak of. The reversal that follows is the engine that drives the entire film. Bradley, who spent years treating Linda as furniture, now cannot start a fire, cannot catch a fish, and cannot build a shelter. Linda, whose Survivor audition tape the entire plane mocked hours before the crash, turns out to be extraordinarily capable in exactly this situation. She constructs a sturdy shelter from tree branches, cultivates fire from scratch, catches and cooks fish, and eventually goes hunting, engaging in a life-and-death confrontation with a wild boar that Raimi stages with characteristic intensity. Even if the digital effects in that sequence remind viewers that this is a far cry from the days when Raimi and his collaborator Tom Sullivan built their visceral impact entirely through practical means. Comparisons to Ruben Östlund's 2022 Palme d'Or winner Triangle of Sadness are unavoidable, and the filmmakers themselves must have felt the sting when that film arrived and covered much of the same thematic territory, including a similar class power reversal, stranded in a tropical setting, and a strikingly parallel ending. Send Help has reportedly been in development for more than 6 years, which means the overlap is a matter of unfortunate timing rather than imitation. Screenwriters Damian Shannon and Mark Swift nevertheless find ways to distinguish their story, leaning less into social satire and more into psychological instability, peeling back the layers of both characters in ways that continually reposition the audience's sympathies. Bradley's recovery from his injuries brings a partial thaw between the 2 survivors, and O'Brien handles the transition with enough texture that the character never collapses into simple villainy. He pitches in once he is mobile, and there are moments when the warmth feels genuine rather than calculated. But a sharp disagreement about survival strategy fractures the fragile truce. Linda wants to stay on the island and wait to be rescued. Bradley insists they build a raft and attempt to intercept passing boat traffic. What the film does with that conflict, and with Linda's increasingly complicated relationship to their isolation, is where Send Help earns its most unsettling moments and the most enthusiastic gasps from the audience. Raimi makes no apologies for his taste in spectacle. The film earns its R rating through sequences of bodily injury rendered in oozing, unflinching close-up, from the camera plunging into Bradley's infected wound to a confrontation involving a thumb and an eye socket that will empty theaters of the squeamish. None of it feels gratuitous in Raimi's hands, because the director has always understood that horror and dark comedy share the same nerve endings. The audience laughs because it is shocked, And it is shocked because the film has earned its escalations carefully enough that each new extreme feels like the logical next step. McAdams anchors all of it. The performance required of her here belongs in a conversation alongside Michelle Pfeiffer's Mousy, pre-transformation Selena Kyle in Batman Returns, an actor of obvious luminosity, asked to suppress that quality entirely and build something rawer and stranger in its place. No one in the audience fully believes Linda is as invisible as the film initially presents her, and that productive tension between the actress and the role gives the character's evolution an outsized dramatic charge. Watching McAdams navigate the shift from doormat to something far less categorizable is one of the genuine pleasures of the summer. Send Help runs out of some momentum in its later stretches, and the ending, while surprising, does not entirely satisfy on the terms the film has set for itself. But the journey there is inventive, propulsive, and willing to go places that mainstream studio filmmaking rarely ventures. In a season crowded with safe choices, Raimi's film is aggressively, almost defiantly, itself. Now the question is yours to answer. Would you survive a week on a deserted island with your worst boss? Drop your answer in the comments below, and if you want more deep dives into the films that actually take risks, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend. Every comment, every share, every new subscriber keeps this conversation going, and this is exactly the kind of conversation worth having.